Hello, hello, and welcome. I want to see if I can activate something. Okay. To join me live today, go to this link, and you will be backstage. You only want to join me live if you got a question. I'm trying to post it. Okay. So I have shared that on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So that's all I can do. And people are already here. So welcome to episode 70 of Let's Talk Immigration. Today, I want to talk about a development in our litigation on behalf of our DV 2020 clients, also known as the Gomez litigation, because our three lawsuits, Mohammed Fong Kennedy, have been designated as related cases, and all of our Mohammed Fong and Kennedy clients and our Project Voyager clients are all class members of the Gomez class, right? So a couple weeks ago, to update you, Raphael Urena, my co-counsel, filed a motion with Judge Mehta to lift the stay on the implementation of his order. So in other words, go ahead and tell the State Department to issue these 9,000 visas, and let's not wait for the outcome of the appeal. Let's just go ahead and issue them, okay? Predictably, the government did what they told us they were going to do. They filed an opposition to that motion on yesterday, and I'll briefly discuss highlights of that. I did tweet out some of my thoughts about it, but I know many people are interested, so let me see if I can find it. There we go. Docket. Is it showing up? Present. Oh no, it's not showing up yet. The browser cannot access the screen. Oh no, that's not good. Let me try share screen, and I'll do the entire screen. Happy Nowruz for the people that are joining us from the Iranian American community. Okay, screen 2, share. There we go. Docket number 268. That's when you know a lawsuit has gone on a while. There have been 268 filings in the Gomez lawsuit. And that does not even count all the filings that were in the Mohammed Fong Kennedy and Aker lawsuits. So the first thing I want to talk about, the Biden administration continues to say that the Trump issued a series of proclamations to address the damage that the pandemic had inflicted to the U.S. economy. Okay, that is crazy talk. Trump wanted to throttle immigration to the U.S., okay? They were going to do it with mumps, and they just got lucky because COVID happened. So the fact that the Biden administration attorneys are pretending like Trump in good faith was trying to protect us from the immigrants is insane. Like the economy is better when we have immigration. It's not worse. And so the Biden administration attorneys typed this sentence in a court filing is embarrassing for me. Okay. Okay. Next thing I want to talk about here. Here's a mistake that the government made. They said during the summer of 2020, plaintiffs from 4 cases, many of whom were DV 2020 selectees, filed suit before this court. Okay. You had the Gomez case that had 6 DV 2020 plaintiffs. You had our Mohammed lawsuit, you had our Fong-Jong lawsuit, you had our Kennedy lawsuit, and you had Charles Cuck's Acre lawsuit. That's 5, not 4. So they need to be more careful. It's not substantive. It's not a big deal, but it is to me. Okay. This is funny. Okay. They talk about how the very first Judge Mehta order was from September 4th of 2020. And they talk about how the Gomez plaintiffs appealed from the September 4th, 2020 order. What they don't talk about is that the Trump administration appealed that order also. And I think maybe the Trump administration appealed it first. But the Trump administration dropped their appeal of the September 4th, 2020 order. I think that's probably why they're trying to not bring that up, right? Because even though the Gomez plaintiffs appealed that order, the Trump administration appealed it too, but the Trump administration dropped that appeal. Anyway, the other things I want to bring up here. And if you want to join and ask questions today, I like to see your comments over to the right, and I'll get to those in a second. But if you wanted to ask your question live, I've shared the video link in YouTube, Facebook, and on Twitter, or X, I guess they call it. There's one more thing I wanted to make a point about. Okay. The Gomez plaintiffs take no position on the motion by the Mohammed Fong-Jong Kennedy plaintiffs. The Gomez plaintiffs are deeply concerned about the delay in an issuance of a decision by the D.C. Circuit, but we do not think the delay at the D.C. Circuit provides a basis for Judge Mehta to reconsider his stay at the D.C. Circuit's delay is outside his control. I would love to know who we is here, because the Gomez plaintiffs, all 6 of them, I doubt if any of them were consulted on this, and I doubt if they weighed in on that decision. So I try not to create drama, but I need to be transparent with my clients who are Gomez class members, and that is the Gomez class representatives are playing with you, because here we, on behalf of our clients, have asked the court to lift its stay, and the Gomez class counsel has given the government assurances that they do not think that the delay provides a basis to reconsider the stay. I knew that when I saw the Gomez class counsel do this, that the government would cite it in their brief, and they did, not once, but twice. It comes up another time too. So I am frustrated with the Gomez class counsel, but talking about it is not going to change anything. I did immediately when they made that representation, you should know, reach out to them and say, please retract this. Please back up from that position, because that position, in my view, does not represent the interest of the class. Okay. So the government argues that there was no change in material circumstances. This is annoying to me and frustrating, because I get your messages on Telegram and WhatsApp and everywhere you send them to me, and phone calls. All of you have my phone number, and I know that you have changed circumstances. Many of you have new children, new spouses, your families are different, so you don't even think that everybody in your family will be eligible for a visa. Some of you have been forced from your homes in Afghanistan or Ukraine or Gaza. And so, yeah, your material circumstances, there's been a material change in your circumstances. The government can argue that there hasn't been all they want. That's just crazy. I hope that history reveals how anti-immigrant this administration is. Okay, so this section, the government argues the Mohammed Fangjong and Kennedy plaintiffs are seeking relief from the wrong court. What they're saying is we should be seeking relief from the DC Circuit. But the thing is, the DC Circuit is not where the government got their stay. Government got their stay from Judge Mehta. So if the government had got their stay from the DC Circuit, we would be talking to the DC Circuit. Oh, I have some people that want to talk. Let me go ahead and add them to the stage here. Hi, Sanel. How are you? Sanel, I can't hear you. Are you asking a question? Are you talking?
Can you say me about what about the DB 2020?
Right. So that's what I'm talking about. We filed a motion to lift the stay, and the government has filed an opposition. Okay. And then I haven't talked to Raphael about whether he's filing a reply or not, but then the judge can issue the order after that. It'll be at least a couple weeks.
Okay, I just want only know about the DB 2020 and 2021 because
well, 2021 is a little different. Okay, this isn't about DV 2021. I'm just talking about 2020 here. Are you a DV 2020 selectee or 2021?
Me, I'm 2021.
Okay, were you a good luck plaintiff or a go plaintiff or Jacob or?
I'm good luck plaintiff.
Okay, great. So in good luck, we're in a little bit different posture procedurally because we have not yet got summary judgment. So not only do we have to beat the appeal, but we also have to win summary judgment from Judge Mehta, which it's already briefed and we already know how he feels about it, but it's another procedural step. And for that reason, we haven't approached him to lift the stay yet. We want to see what happens with the DV 2020 case before DV 2021.
Okay, thank you.
It's a little complicated, and I apologize for that.
Yeah, it's been so long time, so I just want.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I agree.
Yeah.
So thank you for the question.
Yes, thank you so much for this corporation.
You're welcome. Okay. And then, I recognize this guy. Sergey, how are you?
Hi, we are fine, Morrison. How are you?
Good. Talked to you quite a bit. It's got Project Voyager client under there. Good job.
Yeah.
Okay, so as I've said before, we're still waiting on the outcome of the appeal, but we're also trying to get Judge Mehta to lift his stay. To basically unfreeze his order and get him to order the State Department to go ahead and issue the visas even before the outcome of the appeal. So,
Sure.
What's your question?
So my question is, I think that a judgment also will just dismiss our case. I think maybe we are going to wait for the appeals court for the decision in order to know what is going on. I think it's hard just judgmental to remove the stay as well because the appeals court not giving their decision as well.
Right, and that's why we would like to Judge Mehta. Yeah.
So what happened if Judge Mehta is going just to remove our case, to dismiss our case? What is going on?
Okay, Judge Mehta cannot dismiss your case because we've already won. Like, if you look at Gomez, we won summary judgment. That means we won that lawsuit. Okay, so there's no case. Now, what he could do is he could deny our motion to lift the stay. I think that's what you mean.
Yes.
If he does that, then we're in the same place that we were a month ago, but at least we know we tried something. Hopefully he will find our motion compelling and he will act on our motion and grant it. That's what we hope.
Okay, then maybe if it just allow us, they can start to process our 95 visas.
If he grants our motion to lift the stay, that's what will happen.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what we hope.
What is your percentage to allow that happened?
That's impossible to calculate. I don't even know how to put a number on it. I don't know. I'm hopeful that he does it. Okay.
Okay.
So good to see you. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Rwanda, Kigali, Rwanda.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, I am at the hospital now.
Oh, I see. I see. It's 9 p.m. there. Looking at the clock. Let me see if my clock is right. Correct.
Yours. It is 12 EM now.
Oh,
Past
okay.
15. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. Well, I got more questions. So good talking to you. Okay.
Thank you, yeah, Curtis.
Okay. Bye bye. Wow, so many questions. There's somebody named Kurt. That can't be. Kurt, you need to connect your mic and your cam before I can add you to the stream. AR. Hello, AR.
There's no voice. Your voice.
AR, my voice is here. Maybe your speaker is off.
I can't hear you.
That's a problem. This will not work if you cannot hear me. Okay. Sunil is back. Did you have another question, Sunil?
No, I just only listened to you. There was no more questions. I'm just still waiting. No, that's
Okay.
right. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Bye. Okay, those were fun. I have kind of gone over most of what this, yeah, I went over most of that, the government's opposition. So let me jump into questions now. My team is on it. They're putting them in front of me. Greetings, Curtis. Judge Mehta could enter into conflict with the Court of Appeals if his decision in Gomez is positive. No. The Court of Appeals hasn't issued an opinion, so it's impossible to be in conflict with someone before they even have an opinion, right? If the Court of Appeals doesn't, if the government wants to ask the Court of Appeals for a stay, they can ask the Court of Appeals for a stay. But you can't say that Judge Mehta is disagreeing with the court. Court's not put an opinion out on the Gomez case. So, and as Raphael mentioned in his original motion, there's a judge on the 3-judge panel that has given indications that maybe he's looking at our case positively already at the appeal. Okay. David also asked, does Judge Mehta have the power to quash the motion without the Court of Appeal having the verdict yet, or would he have to wait? Yes, he has the power. He can grant our motion to stay, or he can deny our motion to stay. The reason is he is the person, he is the judge who issued the stay. The reason we're on hold is because of Judge Mehta. So Judge Mehta can lift that stay. Okay. David also asked, or would we have to wait for the Court of Appeals to also give its verdict? No. If Judge Mehta lifted the stay, we would not have to wait for the Court of Appeals to give its verdict. Andreas, let's get you on stage. I don't have your camera, but I hear your voice. Are you there? Andreas Beth? Hello, Andreas Beth.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. Do you have a question for us today?
No, it's my first time here on the chat. I think I pushed the wrong button.
Oh, it's okay. Glad to hear your voice, though. Where are you calling from?
I'm from Germany. I'm at night shift.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. Well, take care in Germany. Just, it's fascinating to me that the plaintiffs and the class members and Gomez and Good Luck are from all over the world, right? Okay. Nasir, how are you,
Hi,
sir?
sir. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
I'm from Afghanistan. Now I'm in Kabul. It is about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Wow. So I'm glad you have internet there.
Yes, I have internet. Everything is okay for now, but
For
the
now.
situation is not as good as before.
Right. I understand. Are you coming to us with a specific question today?
Yes, I am a DV 2020 winner, sir, but actually I don't know what happened. Is there any chance? Is there only one person or
Right.
something like that? The chance to get a visa or what?
Right. Okay. So you're asking a great question. So DV 2020, what happened is on September 30th, Judge Mehta, he gave us relief, but it wasn't relief for all. He only reserved 9,000 visas, and there's probably about 30 or 40,000 DV 2020 applicants who want those 9,000 visas. So there's, based on that, you've only got a 25, 30% chance, something like that. You have a further disadvantage now that there's not a U.S. embassy in Kabul.
Yes, yes.
That's a further disadvantage. And it's not made much better by the fact that the U.S. embassy in Islamabad is understaffed. But I will say this: the U.S. embassy in Islamabad is proactively trying to help Afghans, which is we're seeing a lot of efforts from them that are good with respect to that. So I would say it's too soon to give up hope, but it is uphill. It's an uphill climb.
Mhm.
We don't have great odds for your specific situation, but it's too soon to give up hope. I would still tune in and pay attention to what's going on. Have you subscribed to the Gomez classes email?
No, sir, not yet.
Okay, well, yeah, do that because I send out emails to our clients, but if you're not actually one of our clients and you're just a Gomez class member, you'll want to get their emails too. They don't email very often. I don't think they've emailed in 2 years, but when they do, you want to make sure you know, right? You hear what they say.
Okay, sir. Well, where can I find the link or email?
That's a great question. I'm looking for it right now. Where would I find that? Someone on my team is going to find that, right? Let me
Okay,
find.
I have. If there is, if it's possible, I have relatives like my sister and others are in USA. Should they contact you to be your client, or should I just fill the email of?
Right. There's nothing we can do as far as we can't take any more DV 2020 clients, but I would recommend signing up for the Gomez class email. I'm looking for a link right now. I'm almost found it, I think.
Hi, Nazir. On the right, there's a private chat icon from your view. If you want to drop your email in there, and we can send you an email.
Okay.
No.
I've also
Here.
dropped this comment on Facebook and YouTube. I don't know what you're watching on, but I just dropped a comment on Facebook and YouTube with that link. Because all Gomez class members should. Yeah, there's the link right there. Okay. So thank you for the question. Be safe.
Thank
Okay?
you, sir. Thank you for giving the time for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Be safe. Okay. MT, your devices are not connected, so I cannot add you while your devices are not connected. Serge is on Facebook 100%. Great. Faisal says, you look good in red. You think? I think it makes my face look red because the red, too much red. When will you get a response from Meta? Okay, Judge Mehta has to give us a chance to reply to the government's opposition to our motion, so it wouldn't be within the next couple weeks. Also, he's an extremely busy judge. He's got some of the trials for the people that tried to overthrow our government, and the District Court of Columbia is just a very busy court. So I don't know if it will be soon. It could be weeks, it could be months. It will not be this week. MT, I see you have your devices on, so can you hear me okay, MT?
Yes. Can you hear
Great.
me?
Yes.
Awesome. Hey, Curtis, I wanted to double check with you. So I'm in EB category with I-140 approved and my 485 is pending. My spouse actually received an interview request at our local field office. Is that because we've been married for less than 2 years?
Your spouse is your derivative?
Yeah, but it's a EB category. It's not a marriage-based.
Right. And it's not a biometric appointment. It's an actual
No.
interview.
Yeah, we've already done the biometrics a couple months ago.
That could be the reason, but here's the thing: no matter what the reason is, it's not going to change the fact that you still have to do it.
Yeah, no, but it's just my spouse. It's not me, so I'm not sure if I'm even allowed to accompany her into the interview because it's just for her.
Right. In my experience, you'll be able to go into the building with her, and you'll be able to go in the waiting room, but the officer will want to have her alone, probably.
Got it. Yeah, I assume they wanted to verify that it's because we're married less than 2 years. They want to make sure it's a bona fide marriage and not anything else.
Now she basically all the questions on the application, just think about like an officer is going to ask questions around that, to kind of like make sure that all the answers are real, right? So
no, absolutely.
That's how you
everything was legit, like there's no lies and everything. It's an open book, but the issue is challenging.
But here's it's been a few years, and memory doesn't serve us well on things that happened a few years ago. So she needs to refamiliarize herself with the application, because she'll be asking the questions as if it just happened yesterday, and it hasn't. And you want to have that whole situation like current in your head.
Right.
The second thing is an attorney can accompany her. I actually enjoy attending interviews like that. The thing an attorney's role is in those kind of interviews, though, is not to fight. No. It's not an adversarial process. The attorney's role is to record what's happening and be a witness to what's happening in case that there's a problem later.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, the last one I attended, I took notes. I carried paper. And so I knew every single question and answer that the officer wrote. And so when after they were done with their questions, they wanted the applicant to sign saying this was all your answers. And I went through it with them, and I had my notes on what actually happened. And it was kind of like there were a couple things where we were able to go back to the officer and say, I don't think this is what the word was, Mm-hmm. So there is an advantage to having a counsel present at the interview, but it's not what you think it is. It's just they're a witness and they're a note taker.
Right. Got it. Yeah, but I guess the main thing is will they need to be familiar with my entire life story, given that I'm the primary principal applicant. They're the beneficiary. I don't expect my spouse to know exactly what I do, because my work is specialized and everything. But it
won't be about the marital relationship is important, though. So your spouse should know things that married people know about each other.
Right. But how would USCIS know what I know about myself? I guess you're just talking about like date of birth and like phone contact, where we got married, etc. Right?
Okay. Here, this is just a crazy example.
Yeah.
The USCIS officer asked you right now, what side of the bed do you sleep on?
Depends on your perspective.
Well, yes, but you have an answer in your head, and you can deliver it.
Right.
If it's a fraudulent marriage situation, there's a pause and there's an awkwardness where people stumble and they're like, I don't know. But if you say, I sleep on the left side because I want to be close to the electric outlet and the water and the lamp, and if you have there's just the questions they asked are designed to find out whether or not the answers that were given on the application are accurate.
But how would they know? Because the principal applicant never even provided the information and it's not there at the interview.
Because of the pause and the stumbling and
Oh,
how the applicant answers. Because believe it or not, a lot of times when people are cornered and they don't know the information, they say, I don't know. Now imagine being asked what side of the bed you sleep on with your spouse and say, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just instantly calling into question whether or not the whole application is fraudulent or not.
Right.
That makes sense. Just one little question.
Right.
So I'm not trying to scare you,
mm-hmm.
but the officer will be probing to find out the credibility of the applicant. That happens.
No, totally understand. Yeah. Okay. And but like, you know, besides bringing our marriage document and proof of marriage and photographs and stuff like that we've had over the years, like what is there any particular thing you find that is very helpful besides, you know, like mortgage documents, title deed, etc., that we own the home and stuff like that?
Yeah, it never hurts to have that stuff with you, but I wouldn't provide it unless it's requested.
Got it. Okay.
I've seen people provide things that are not requested and the officer doesn't know what to do with them, so they use them as tools to impeach the interviewee.
Right.
Like, you've given me your checking account statements. What's this charge for?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so like if they didn't ask for it, don't provide it.
Got it. Okay. All right. Okay. We appreciate it. Yeah. Like I was told, like, I mean, just reading, you know, interviews and stuff like that, where people have shared their experience, the cutoff seems to be pretty strict. It seems like they're supposed to conduct an interview approximately every half hour. You know, the interview itself might last only 5 minutes, but the interaction overall is half an hour time slots that they're booked out. And so like, I don't know if, you know,
the interview,
yeah,
they vary. I've done one that was more than 6 hours recently. It was a unique situation, but the length of the interview varies.
Got it. Okay. Okay. No, I appreciate that. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for doing this, by the way. Really appreciate it.
No problem. It's fun. Thanks for coming. And Britt, that was funny. Okay. Isaac. Let's see what's going on, Isaac. Where you at? Hello, Isaac. I'm in San Diego. Where are you?
I'm from Africa.
Great. Do you come to us with a question today?
I'm from Africa. I have some questions to raise for you.
Having trouble hearing you. What's your question?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I have some questions to raise for you.
What is your question?
We were the 2020 applicants for the DV. We were one of the selectors for that.
Yeah, I've talked about
that, but we didn't know what is the current status right now.
Okay, so the current status is we're waiting on the outcome of the appeal, but we've tried this thing where we've asked the judge to go ahead and order the visas to be issued anyway, and we're waiting to see if that will work. So that's the current status.
We're one of the Gomez.
You're Gomez class member, yes. So that's the current status. So I've answered that question.
It already took us almost 4 years of waiting what is going to be happening, but I don't know how much will be still going on.
I'm not sure I heard you right, but if you're asking like how long it's going to take, I don't know. It's premature. Oh.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay. Andreas Beth, have we had you on stage?
Ich verwechsel das mal. Ich drücke dann gerne mal bei der 7 rein, aber
What's going on? What's your question? How can I help you? Andreas.
Ich habe das nicht gefunden.
Okay. you when you join, you gotta be here for it. Okay. I got behind on. I've got lost. There's so many questions today. Oh my gosh, it's such a big audience. Okay, any news about DV 2021? What you're talking about is, I assume that you're a good luck plaintiff or that you can benefit from Go or Ray. And if that's the situation, we're still waiting on the outcome of the appeal. There hasn't been an attempt to lift the stay in DV 2021 yet. We want to see what happens in DV 2020. Omar saw the reply from the government, the response from the government, and they have some points to talk, not legal reasons, but Judge Mehta will consider just talking or talk with proof that you mentioned in the motion. See after this that our plaintiffs are challenging in their country. And then he says, for example, I think that's the end of his comment. So Judge Mehta does not live under a rock. The government's suggestion that your material change, that there haven't been changes since 2020 is absurd, or 2021, I guess. It's absurd, and he will see through that argument. I think we'll see. I mean, speculating and trying to predict what a judge's order will be, I don't think that that's the best use of our time. Let's just hope that it's what we want it to be. No one asked how many years we will wait for DV 2020-9095 visas. Well, the order was issued September 30th, 2020, 21, 22, 23. So you've already waited 3 years and 6 months, something like that. So I know that you're going to wait 3 years and 6 months. I don't know how much longer you're going to wait. I don't know that. Hopefully not much longer. Mahmoud says, will Trump winning 2025 elections make it extra hard of the DV 2021 and DV 2020 cases? Possibly, because he will put into effect new barriers that the orders don't deal with. The President of the United States does have powers under 212F to prevent entry into the U.S. of many different classes of travelers. So Trump could do that, but I don't think he could do anything worse than what Biden's doing right now, right? He might say we beat the appeal. He may appeal to the Supreme Court, but I think Biden may do that too. We don't really know, okay? Arkan says, is there any news about DV 20? I already answered that. I covered that. You will provide a response to our opponent's opposition. What after that we can expect Judge Mehta's decision? I texted Raphael about that, and he has not answered me. So I'm pretty sure that Raphael is going to file a reply to that opposition, but I have not confirmed it. It was his motion and his idea, so he's like in charge of it. So I don't know the answer to that question. I'll know by next week. Okay. Hassan says, hello, Mr. Morrison. Why Judge Mehta? He don't have a role in this case. Please answer me. He remember us, yes or no? Well, I wouldn't say he doesn't have a role in this case. I mean, he issued the order that said that we won, and so he definitely has a role. And he issued the order that said the implementation of the order is on hold because of seeing what's going to happen with the appeal. Now, let's wait and see whether or not he wants to lift that stay now that it's been a couple years. Okay. Killian says, is joining from Cameroon, and one of the DV 2020 clients that the embassy went to the embassy but could not push through due to document issues because of limited time. Thank you for your support. I recognize your name. Yeah, I think that you probably will have an advantage if we beat the appeal, in that the embassy has already looked at your case once. And as long as you can solve those documentation issues, though, right? Okay. Virginia says, will we get an update from you when you and your team are able to respond to the defendants? I'm a Kennedy plaintiff. Yes, Virginia, I will. You'll get an email from what we call MailChimp if you are a Kennedy plaintiff and or any of our DB 2020 clients, that will give you an update on what the reply is. Now, we have 7 days to file a reply to this response, which would be March 26th. So you will get an update on the 26th if we file a reply. Replies are optional, by the way. It's up to Raphael if he wants to file a reply. Something else in this, the government's response that I thought was interesting is they said, what is this talk about migrants coming across the southern border that are also DV 2020 class members? We don't know anything about that. And last week it was actually one of those class members was on Fox News. I know this because he's my client and I set up the interview. So it's kind of ironic that they're arguing to court that this phenomena doesn't exist. Okay. Richelieu says, hi, sir. Why is it taking the appeal court so long to come out with a verdict concerning DB 2020? Okay, appeals take a long time. Okay, that's why. Appeals courts take a long time. That's the nature of appeals. Don't blame the delay on the appeals court, though. You know, the delay gets blamed on the Biden administration for filing the appeal. Hassan says, please, Mr. Morrison, send a special message to Judge Mehta and say to him, we still waiting him. Okay, I can't send messages to the judge. Okay, we're not on sending DMs and texts and telegrams to each other. We can't do that. We're not allowed to do that. All we can do is file things in court. MT says, do you know of any applicants who are currently administrative processing and also applied for 485 and were successfully granted a green card through their 485? No, but I think that's just because that's sort of a newer thing that people are doing. I do know of 3 people that are attempting that right now who got frustrated with their AP and they were inside the US on an H-1B or student visa or visitor visa, and then so they're doing the adjustment of status now. But it's a new thing, so I don't know. The answer is, you want to know if I know someone who did this, and the answer is no, I do not know someone, but I don't see an obstacle to it. Isaac, let's add you to the stage. Hello, Isaac. What's your question?
Hello.
Hello, Isaac. What's your question?
My question is, if you are already a selectee of the Gomez, and if you want to again apply for the upcoming DV issues, does it have some problem with it?
You're a Gomez class member and you want to apply for what?
The new DV.
Oh,
upcoming.
yeah, you should have already done that 3 years now. Like, you can pursue different paths to immigrate to the US concurrently at the same time, okay? So even though you win a year, go ahead and enter the next year also, because you always want a plan B. So the entry, of course, is not till October for the next time opportunity to enter, but definitely that's not a problem, okay?
All right, if it's gonna be like if I'm the selectee of the upcoming DV one, then does it affect?
That would be great. And I'll tell you what, a lot, I mean, not thousands, but dozens of DV 2020 and 2021 selectees that I've talked to have won in subsequent years, 2022 and 2023 and 2024, and already entered the US, which is great for those 2020 and 2021 selectees who are like, oh no, there's so many people that want these finite number of visas. Well, some of them are finding other paths by winning the DV lottery in subsequent years. Make sense? You there?
Yeah, I'm there. Can you hear me? Thank you.
Okay. Can't hear Isaac. So Kakabar says, can we do some additional activities if we are waiting for your directives? DV 2021 from Georgia. I need to know what you mean by additional activities. Okay. I don't want anybody trying to contact a judge. No. Prohibited. Do not try any contacting of judges. But if you have a proposal, let me know. I am concerned, though, that you don't say that you're a good luck plaintiff. If you're a DB 2021 from Georgia, you wouldn't have qualified for relief under the Ray order. And so if you're not a go or good luck plaintiff, your journey may be over. So I'm concerned about that. Okay. Omar says, our situation's weird. Can't be happy while we think we're waiting several years. We can't be sad because we have hope. That is weird. I feel that way too. It's weird. Faisal says, if Judge Mehta granted our motion and 9,095 start to be given, is the DC court may thought that there is no need to issue an order? No, because they still will need to issue an order in good luck, first of all. But then the second thing is, this is a legal question that is going to come up again and again. So the circuit court needs to rule on it eventually. So future presidents know whether or not an entry ban can be used as a visa ban. Okay. Hassan says, thank you very much. We appreciate your effort. If these impossible visas are issued, we will invite you to have lunch with us and bring you a gift from my country, Sudan. Oh, that's very nice. I get gifts, and I try to give them to my staff too, because I can't keep all the gifts, but also stop giving gifts. I want you to be happy in the US and not be buying gifts for your attorney. You know, once you get in the US, you can move on and put this nightmare behind you. I mean, we can have lunch though. Okay. Well, actually, what I'd like to do here before I talk about this, I'd like to have an annual picnic at maybe a few of them, maybe one in LA, Chicago, New York, something like that, or Florida. And every year, like, invite all the DVs from all the DV years and the people that you became friends with in the Telegram groups and the WhatsApp groups and the forums, and maybe Britt Simon could be there with maybe a special chair and a crown or something. I don't know. I'm just teasing you. But no, seriously, the DV community, you get relationships, and it's kind of sad when you immigrate that some of those relationships disappear. So I was thinking of keeping those kind of relationships alive, but I don't want to do anything like that until we get some closure on what's going on with DV 2020 and 2021 appeals. So if we get this group of 20,000 visas issued, get you in the US, then maybe we can put together something like that. My team is very interested in doing that also. Okay. I was about to ask a question and now I've lost it. There it is. Mr. Morrison, do you realize that it should not be that way? I'm talking about DV 2020 and 21. When will you act? What if they simply forget about us in court? When will I act? Okay. Remember when I showed the docket entry earlier and I showed 268 docket entries? Like, where is it? See this number here? 268 court filings. Okay. I show you that because I want you to understand we have acted. We would not have got here if we had not acted. So the idea that I'm just sitting on my hands is crazy. Okay. In your experience, could you say statistically, government is now more propense to actively fight mandamus lawsuits with motions to dismiss, or is just a perception being more cases filed? Fernando, great question. There's two different kinds of mandamus lawsuits we file against the State Department. NVC mandamus lawsuits and AP mandamus lawsuits. AP mandamus lawsuits are for people that have already attended an interview. We find that the State Department treats these a little differently and also treats them differently depending on where they're filed, and also treats them differently based upon the plaintiff's individual situation. So last year, I filed a lot of mandamus lawsuits for people that had a shorter delay, and it triggered something at the State Department, I think, because they decided they were going to start fighting them back. So now I discourage people from filing a mandamus lawsuit that have a very short delay and only use this remedy after they have a longer delay. When I say longer, I mean like longer than 6 months. Especially 9 months to 2 years, definitely want a mandamus lawsuit in that situation. So, but to answer your question more specifically, the State Department definitely changed their legal strategy sometime in not quite a year ago, April or May of 2023, where they are more aggressive with mandamus lawsuits with respect to a motion to dismiss. But a motion to dismiss is not that big of a deal, okay? We just file an opposition to it. Government files a reply, lawsuit continues. So I'm actually thinking about the idea of building in the opposition to the motion to dismiss into the price and just telling people from the beginning, hey, that's going to happen. It's part of the process, because I'm seeing people shocked by it when we know it's going to happen, and it's also something we can overcome. I'm not angry. I just sound that way. Whale says, could you please explain the position of DV 2020 now? Much appreciate your continuous support. I've said this earlier, but I'll repeat it real quick. Waiting for the outcome of the appeal, but we have filed a motion on behalf of our Mohammed Fangjang and Kennedy clients to get Judge Mehta to lift the stay. The government's filed their opposition. We may file a reply, and then Judge Mehta will issue an order. So those two things are the concurrent two things that we're waiting on the outcome of. We're waiting on the outcome of the appeal, but we're also waiting on the outcome of our motion to lift the stay. Here's a question from E. I want to know how to say your name. Why is Ankara so slow for giving interviews? The last one who got to it now is still at 4996 case number. So I think you're a DV 2024 selectee, and I don't know the answer to that question, but I have recently compared Ankara to Abu Dhabi and Yerevan, and Ankara did not seem that bad compared to Abu Dhabi and Yerevan. Ankara is better than Abu Dhabi. And so if you're Iranian and you've just got those three options, probably need to stay with Ankara. Also need to consider that DVs at Ankara come from different nations. Not only do you have DVs from Turkey, but you also have DVs from Iran that use Ankara, and some other countries too. Okay. Abdurrahman says, I'm not sure if my question has been asked before. What is your prediction for the time frame of Judge Mehta's? I don't predict when judges will issue an order. I can't. If I did predict, it'd be wrong. Okay. I wouldn't be good at that. Do you anticipate it will be issued soon? Issued. He's talking about Judge Mehta's order on the motion to compel. I anticipate it will not be within the next week, because the rules give us an opportunity to reply to the motion before he issues an order. So it would not be within the next couple weeks. It could be within a few weeks, though, or it could be months. I doubt if he would let it drag on months, though. We'll see. The reason is it's a rather simple order. You know, it's not 40 pages. It's not a 40-page motion. Okay. Dr. Ali Manzoor says, any news on DS 5535 processing from the government officials? Okay, I've got sad news to report on this. In the Taharian versus Blinken lawsuit, where we are challenging unreasonable delays of Iranian family members, we survived the government's motion to dismiss. Now they have to provide administrative records that will probably give insights to what's going on, even beyond what we know with the Carson Wu declarations. But the government has filed a motion for a protective order so that I will not share that information with you. Today, the judge, Judge Carmack in LA, not Judge Carmack, Judge Spaeth, the magistrate judge, granted that motion. So when we get that information, I'm going to be prohibited from a court order from sharing it with you. Anybody that knows me and my commitment to transparency knows how frustrating that will be for me personally, but I also realize it's frustrating for you. A positive note, the State Department recently expressed in a meeting with Ayla that 2024 will be the year of the immigrant visa, and that they are going to attempt to improve transparency. So hopefully that's true. Okay. MT, we're on the same vibe. Exactly. Someone said it. The person that said it was the State Department. What does that mean? I was debating on to see whether or not I could pull that file up in time, and I doubt if I could. So basically, they say that they're going to do a better job making the visa process transparent. And also they're going to try to implement some policies involving some of the vetting that they're doing before the interview so that fewer people will go into 221G AP. I don't know what that means. I don't think it's not been implemented yet. Although they say it has, it's in the process. They say two things. They say it's in the process, and they say it is. So I'm going to do a Freedom of Information Act request to try to find out what's going on with that, but I don't know yet. But I think it's funny that the State Department says 2024 is the year of the immigrant visa, and they don't even mention it until March. Like, was January and February part of the year of the immigrant visa, or does it run from March 2024 to March 2025? Because it feels like it's the 9 months of the year of the immigrant, not a whole year. Okay. Most of the immigrant visas are issued by USCIS. False. USCIS does not issue visas. And MVC DOC delays have been worsening. I'm not sure what you're trying to say, but I'm tripped up because of the mistake you made in the first sentence. Shouldn't every year be the year of the immigrant visa? Yes, I agree with that. Going back to this, I figured out what you mean. You mean most of the green cards are issued by USCIS. Interesting. I don't know that statistic off my head, top of my head. I know it's not true with diversity visas, that's for sure. Or IR5s. I don't know if that's true generally. Okay. MTC, that's what we paid them to do. Yes, if you pay for an immigrant visa application, they should adjudicate it. I agree. That's why the immigrant visa interview ready backlog has always been really curious to me, because how is it that the State Department, the consulates are saying, oh no, we have resource restraints, we don't have enough money, when we know that 350,000 visa applicants have already paid their application fee and not attended interview. So where did that money go? I mean, that's millions of dollars. And at the same time, the State Department saying, we can't afford to hire consular officers. I'm like, where's all that money? You know, it's pretty weird. Somehow I got through all those questions. We got somebody I'm adding to the stage, and this will be our last person we're adding to the stage. Bass, you're muted. Can you unmute? And we've got 1 minute, Bass. So let's do this. I need you to unmute. Unmute. There's a little speaker button somewhere on your laptop or your computer. You need to push it. Oh, we give up on Bass. Next week, Bass, episode 71. So I'll see you all next Wednesday for episode 71. Thank you for joining. For the Persian audience, happy, not happy Nowruz. That's not how you say it. I take notes. I should know this stuff. Nowruz Mubarak.